Story that we've been bringing to you this evening. Let's go back to Riverlea, where Aviwe Mtila is. A short while ago, we saw a small group of police officers on the ground and a group of illegal miners coming out. It looks like some arrests are underway, and Aviwe Mtila is on the ground. Aviwe, what's the latest?
Bradan, you think I'm making this up? All those zamas, I want you to see where we are. You see the police that are currently leaving now. They're only leaving with 6 of them. Out of the at least 30 plus that were here, the police are leaving with 6. The rest, they were here. Remember, we were just here a bit earlier on. And as the police leave, you can see them just a bit further away there. They just took up and ran away, Bradan. Even the police were just scrambling to make some sort of arrests, just to say that, you know, they're doing something, they've made the arrest, but it looks like they're also coming out of their cars now. In fact, I was speaking to General Zulu a bit earlier on, who was introduced. I'm not sure if you remember, Bradan, in that impromptu press briefing, and Police Minister Bheki Cele addressing the community members here, saying that General Zulu will be the one with the specialized task force ensuring that the deployment is here. She says that they've been scouting the area and will be moving in soon, but not, of course, keeping up to those promises. In fact, I'm going to ask my colleague here, the brilliant Dababi, just to move with me a bit closer there. Maybe you can just even listen in on the caucus of the police, because clearly, out of the 30 plus, brother, and I kid you not, they arrested a mere 6 that are inside this actual van, the Langlachta police van behind us. General Zulu is now addressing the very police. I'm not sure what that address is circulated around, but all of those illegal miners that came at will, because the reality is that they came at will, actually left. I'm going to come a bit closer just to listen in, Bradan.
Okay, let's see if you are able to capture for our viewers what the police are saying.
Okay, it looks like they don't want to have that conversation. But it's General Zulu, this side here, addressing the at least a dozen police that are on the ground here, tasked with apprehending and dealing with the scourge of criminality and turf wars at the hands of zamas. And speaking to the zamas, Bradan, they say that they are from that informal settlement just right across the road here, the Zanempilo informal settlements. They're saying that they're having a turf war with zamas that they used to actually mine with in the Riverlea area. They now don't see eye to eye. The one group that lives further down here wants to take over the mining here, and they say they're the ones that have been targeted. But General Zulu, who's addressing the police now, is the one tasked with ending all of this. In fact, bringing in the specialized forces here and taking really a grip at the incidences here of criminality. But at the current moment, Bradan, it's just 6 that have been arrested here at the back of this very van that my colleague Dababi is showing you as they're about to take off here. And the zamas in their dozens are back towards the direction where they do their illegal mining, and they were actually having casual conversations here with the police, as it wasn't even a risk. They came at will, Bradan. I'm not sure if my colleague Dababi can even reach that far again, but it was just giving you the latest updates that the zamas that were here, Bradan, in majority Lesotho nationals, have all run away now. They decided just to up and run away, and it was a scramble from the police's side to grab who they could, and they grabbed at least 6 of them.
Been taken away. We don't know what General Zulu was saying to the fellow officers there, but it looks like those 6 have been taken away. What baffles the mind, Aviwe, is the promise made of a 24-hour turnaround by Minister Bheki Cele that to deploy extra resources has not been visible or implemented at all more than 24 hours later.
That's the big concern, Bradan. Something that I even tried to touch on with General Zulu. Of course, she's saying she can't address the media. At first, she didn't even want us to be here. but it was sort of embarrassing. I did ask General, you have to give us answers. What is happening? She seemed to suggest that for the majority of the day, they've been scouting the area, and then later on they'll be moving in with the deployment. That's more than the 24 hours that was promised. Remember, Police Minister promising that immediately when he left here, which is just around 5 o'clock, the TRT would be the first to come in together with Amaperete, and then we'd expect then that heavier law enforcement contingency, which the Police Minister didn't want to be specific about at the time, saying that they don't want to give everything away so that the criminals know what's going to happen. But we can see it's still brazen in its nature, the zama mining, the illegal mining that happens here at the hands of the zama. They were brave enough to even come and confront the police, speak to the police, have casual conversations, because it was sort of a casual engagement with the police up until they decided to run away. They weren't arrested. They came at will, but then I'll keep on emphasizing that point, because the numbers of the police were hardly 12 on the ground here, and they managed to go, I'm assuming, to the police station, but leaving with 6 zamas here.
Yeah, no, we saw those live visuals of the group of them earlier walking very leisurely towards the police and being searched, and then sitting down, having conversations among themselves, including you. You interviewed a couple of them who confirmed they are from Lesotho and that they've been doing illegal mining, but they say they are under attack by another group, but nothing has happened. You also spoke to a local leader, the community leader, who was not impressed with the lack of that decisive action that was promised by the Minister of Police yesterday.
Very disheartened by the promises made. That was Councillor Doyle from the city of Johannesburg, who said that they need those re-engagements with Police Minister Bheki Cele, because it looks like it was empty promises. And as we can see, I mean, we've been here from early hours of the morning, Bratan, where this brazen nature of the zamas was quite apparent even back then. We were speaking to one of the community activists when they ran just across these bushes here, going back to the Zanempilo informal settlements. It seems it's a norm, brother, and it's so brazen. It happens in broad daylight, and as you can see, even in front of police, they're willing to come out. I'm not sure if not being aware of the illegality of it all, because it is criminality, brother. They are illegal in the country. They're conducting illegal activities in the country. It's quite disheartening to see the police do nothing. Hence, we saw those protests from community members, and the promise were that those protests would spark up once more if this situation wasn't arrested by the police. And it seems now they don't have a grip on things, but as you can see, the zamas are still there, the police are gone, no TRT on site, no Amaperete on site, and that heavier law enforcement deployment certainly not on site at the stage. As you can see, it's just another day here, and it seems like that criminality that the community was complaining about, in fact seemingly for years, is something that's going to continue here at Riverlea and Langlaagte.
Yeah, one wonders what's going to happen in the next few hours, because as you told us, Aviwe Mtila, it's normally around this time, after 5 o'clock in the evening, that the zamas come out of whatever hole they were in, because yesterday we understood there was a big hole, or there were 2 holes, one of them is big, and they came out walking leisurely, and then there was some gunfire. You had to really go for shelter and try and protect yourselves with other people, including a local CPF leader at the time. This is a very crucial time, because the police have left. The group of zamas we can see there on a mound there of broken rocks and sand, standing there after they having run away. And those police were there, those few police officers were there, only managing to nab 6 of them. But we don't know exactly whether they've been arrested and where they've been taken to, because General Zulu didn't say anything to you.
Not wanting to say anything official here. The promise was that they would be moving in. She seems to suggest that they've been for the majority of the day scouting the area, and then they'll be making their move. But that's contrary to the promise that was made by Police Minister Bheki Cele, suggesting that immediately when he left, that TRT deployment would be on the ground, Amaperete on the ground. But You can see, Brajan, nothing much has changed. There the zamas are. It's more than 24 hours later, and
Waiting.
they're just there on top of that hill there.
Thank you very much, Aviwe Mtila. I was seeing a reporter on the ground there near the Riverlea, in the Riverlea area, where we witnessed a short while ago very, very shocking developments. I mean, a group, I don't know how many illegal miners coming out leisurely, walking towards the police, and the police could only arrest 6 of them because the rest just stood and fled, and nothing has happened. And 24 hours later, that special deployment is still being awaited for, and the local community is not happy at all. Thank you very much, Aviwe Mtila. At the top of 6, it will stand for SA Tonight with